Welcome back to the European Masters. We are already in to Champion Select here between Energy Pot Wizards and Mouse Sports. We were quick off the rattle for this one. Foxtrot, we're already in. It's going to Sejuani ban, a Blitzcrank ban, I guess against Promise Q, coming out for Energy Pot Wizards here. What do you make of this?
want to know who else it could be. I've even done some research. I haven't. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's get some Blitzcrank in the other lanes. Sounds good for me. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you touched on it before. Mouse Esports versus Energy Pot Wizards. Energy Pot Wizards are the first seed from the Balkan region, and Mouse the second seed from Prime League in Germany. Obviously, very familiar faces on Mouse Esports side. As we go into the draft as well, you'll see some familiar faces, especially from Leader's perspective, because he eats a lot of bans in the draft phase, and we've already seen his Aurelia be taken away. Leader's champion pool has always been a discussion point with him. You know, you saw him in the LEC a little bit. You saw his like 0-10 Yasuo games, and well, that sounds a bit harsh. He did have at least one 0-10 Yasuo game, but you know what I mean. He's that kind of player, right? He likes those kind of champions. And he did it to success a year ago. It won him the EU Masters in 2019 spring. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him hop on some of the similar champions. You know, the Akalis, the Aurelias, not this game, but the Yasuo, and maybe even things like Echo he's played a lot of as well.
Yeah, he's got plenty of options. I mean, I think Leader plays coin flip champions, and that kind of like leads into the style. But he was too good for the rest of the mid laners the last time he was in the European Masters. That was just the key point. He was just too mechanically good. He outplayed them all 1v1. He got solo advantages in the mid lane. That was just what Leader did, and that's why he drew so many bans. Energy Pot Wizards will not do the same thing. They're going to sort of spread their bans out just a little bit. But it is going to be a lock-in of a Renekton, a Varus, and a Nautilus here for Energy Pot Wizards. And Mouse will be taking the Thresh Aphelios combo that we just saw from Kick, and they're also going to lock in the Trundle for Obsess, we assume.
Third game in a row for Trundle. Probably going to be in the jungle. The only other way you really flex him is in support. I mean, you can play him top, but we don't tend to see that too much. So Obsess is going to be playing that one. He hasn't played too much Trundle actually this season, so but I mean, his Trundle is not the most advanced champion in League of Legends, but now it does offer the opportunity for Mouse to really pinch that jungle pool. Gragas has gone. We'll see what else they decide to pinch here as well. Kindred, ooh, that's nice actually. Kindred is a really good like skill champion if you're comfortable on it, and when you're playing teams like from the Balkans, you kind of want to hone in on like individual players' comfort. So I think Kindred is a good pick here. A good bet.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Ornn coming off the table as well doesn't give Tolkien a safe matchup. Aatrox is still available for Tolkien should he want, and we just saw that matchup go very, very favourably for Kick. So I feel like Aatrox is just a good pick here if you want something that you assume is going to be into the Renekton top. Of course, we've seen Renektons be flexed mid in certain scenarios. But Aatrox is a good. I think Aatrox is a fine bet. Oh, I forgot about this pick.
Yeah, this is like this is the Ornn when Ornn is banned. Is you lock in Maokai. I'm a bit. So I think this Kassadin ban kind of says that this is not a Renekton mid, because if you're Energy Pot Wizards, you would actually want Mouse to like bait them into picking Kassadin so you can send Renekton into it and just demolish it. So the fact that the bans come through to me says, yeah, okay, that's probably most likely a Renekton top. So they're going to be saving their mid lane here. And Leader, getting some love in the draft, gets his counter pick. He gets his pick of the litter. What's it going to be? I guarantee you, whatever it is, it doesn't have a lot of CC in its kit, and it has a lot of dashes. And there's the Akali.
It's the Akali. Leader very comfortable on that champion. We've seen him time and time again going into Lucchesi, who I feel like I want to spend some time just highlighting some of the players from Energy Pot Wizards. Lucchesi has had a kind of a storied mid-tier ERL history. He's played in a lot of ERLs. Lucchesi has been playing for years as well. I remember him playing in the UK scene almost 4 or 5 years ago. So this is a guy who's been around the ERL scene for a very long time and has never really found that opportunity to break into the top tier of League of Legends. This is maybe an opportunity for him with Energy Pot Wizards to kind of show he's capable of dealing with the very best mid laners in Europe. And I know VZZ, he's got European Masters experience already and has classically been known as one of the best players in the Balkans in its entirety.
Yeah, he absolutely stomps the Balkan League. He gets like he picks up MVP awards left, right, and center. It was the same last year when we saw him in 2019 spring, and it's the exact same this year as well. He was kind of like the young prodigy last year, and now he's got another year of experience, another year of playing, and so we're kind of looking to see whether he can maybe take that next step and be like that primary carry that you want to see from your AD carry. But you know, obviously, what a trial by fire in this game. Like, you could not really be going up against someone. A tougher lineup, especially one with more experience than Mouse Esports.
Yeah, and again, they are previous winners. I do want to highlight that. Mouse are previous European, well, not Mouse themselves, but Leader and Obsess, previous European Master winners. And Jeskler and Promisq are, the names speak for themselves. Jeskler was on previously XL, Promisq previously G2, and Tolkien has been a staple top lane player for many, many Prime League and Dark Region teams, as well as having had a stint on XL back in the day in the UK scene as well. So there's a lot of talented, experienced players on Mouse Sports. It would be a big upset for Energy Pop Wizards to actually take this win, but we can never count the Balkans out. They always have something in store for us when it comes to the European Masters, and we'll see if Energy Pop Wizards are good enough to upset the apple cart in this group.
Yeah, obviously going up against it in this game, but hey, who doesn't mind a little bit of competition, a little bit of adversity? That always makes, when they start making the documentary on how Energy Pop Wizards won EU Masters 2020, you know, that's definitely a storyline that they can really hammer home. Getting some pretty standard starts here though. Trundle starting on the top side of the map. This is the first time I think we've seen Trundle on red side instead of blue side, so we're not going to see him do that blue gromp wolves and like really power through that clear. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Obsess just completely skip the other top camps here and just go straight down into the bot side of the map to eat those ones up. And Spooky pathing more towards the top side so that he can try and get a little bit going there, playing around potentially that Renekton to get him some early kills.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the case here. We didn't really get much time to touch on win conditions of these compositions, so Foxy, I am going to kind of bring you in for that one. What are we looking to do for both Mouse and Wizards? Where do their win conditions lie here?
I feel like with Wizards, you're kind of looking for early kills. We might get a little bit of a trade going through here. Thresh into Nautilus, exactly the same as we saw. Is this the exact same 2v2 we saw in the last game, right? It is. Varus Nautilus into Philios Thresh. That one a bit slow on the take there. But we did see that you know, this is a lane that offers a lot of kill threat for both sides. There's a lot of gank assist, and obviously Wizards have picked that really strong early game ganker in Spooky and in the Elise. And I want to see what he can do early with that Conqueror. It means that he can scale a little bit better into the game as well. So there's not a huge amount of pressure for him to do stuff, but he's most definitely going to want to do stuff. Else, you know, you're an Elise, and let's be real, you don't really want to play an Elise after you get like 15-20 minutes into the game if you don't have 3 or 4 kills.
Spooky is going to try and keep his eyes on that mid lane. We'll tag out Obsess in terms of vision. And he's now going to kind of wait. I'm wondering whether he's expecting Obsess to come and contest this River Scuttler on the top side of the map, and he's going to try and look for a catch with that Cocoon and put some pressure down, or he's just waiting for it to spawn itself. Obsess knows, and is going to head down and trade the bot side.
Yeah, he's not going to risk anything here. At least obviously very strong early, as I was saying, but Trundle doesn't necessarily have to walk up to her. He can just do her own. He can do his own thing and let Elise do her own thing as well. The less you play into Elise early, the happier you'll be, because there really is a lot of pressure on her to. I mean, I'm pretty sure I said like 5 seconds ago there's not a lot of pressure on her because she's got a Conqueror. But overall, and Elise wants to do stuff early, and Obsess now invading, might look to try and get a little bit cheeky here with Leader coming in.
Yeah, Lucchesi does not have that lane priority to be able to just rotate at will. And Obsess is utilizing the pressure that Leader has generated to put some, at least a bit of a stamp down in the enemy red side jungle here. Leader now again putting pressure on Lucchesi, just aggressive. And I think one of the things that often isn't talked about is just like the...
Ooh, this could be something.
In a minute, because Obsess is forced to back away here. He saw the rotations coming up. He knew he'd been seen. He's going to back out to his blue side jungle. But I guess one of the things that I wanted to talk about, Foxy, was just that sometimes the name does more than anything else. And when you see leaders Akali, no matter who you are, especially at ERL level, you're probably going to be a bit cautious. Play maybe more cautiously than you would do normally. You don't want to give this guy any kind of advantage. So maybe you take less risks than you would do normally in a matchup like this. Yeah,
I do wonder whether if you're playing like from an underdog region like truthfully the Balkans are, whether you kind of just learn to like shed that whole kind of mindset, because whoever you play against, you are the underdog. Like if you're fearing names on the opposite side, then you're going to fear everyone, because everyone is favored against you. So I think for Lucchesi, like you say, he's been around for a while as well, so he should be very comfortable playing versus leader. I'm sure he's done it thousands of times in solo queue, give or take a few thousand games. And for this Cassiopeia specifically, now that he has his Tear of the Goddess, he should be able to put more pro into this mid lane to make it easier for his team to move around the map.
So you can see here, Obsess starts up that Dragon. Pretty easy to do so because Yescler and Promiscu have got a big push in the bot side of the map, and Promiscu takes a couple of tower shots here.
Ooh, that's
pull.
a good hook.
Great pull onto BZZ, but it's not enough to get the work done. Yescler will take the Lantern and back out, and the overall objective of the Dragon is done. That
is an MSI champion winning hook right there. Absolute superstar. Thread it through the minions. That really sucks. I mean, there was already a lead in that bot lane. Oh, leader doing leader things. He's gone in.
Looking for any opportunity as leader to just find that opening onto Lucchesi. Lucchesi will not have to burn flash, and he'll be very comfortable just backing out, having burnt the ignite. Spooky waiting in the wings here just to try and punish leader, who has used that ultimate, so some of the dash is no longer available for Akali. But Obsess there, ready to babysit if needed. And again, no major advantages being opened up right now.
I think leader hit 6 and instantly decided, okay, how can I try and kill my lane opponent? And that's probably the most leader thing that I think that just sums up leader, honestly, that kind of play. Like there wasn't a huge amount of kill pressure there, but as soon as he caught a whiff of it, he fancied it. He went for it. And this kind of play style constantly puts so much pressure down on you if you're playing versus them. And at some point, when you are kind of getting pushed to your limits and you are constantly thinking, okay, what's he doing now? What's he going to do now? Because you know he's this madman that's just going to jump on you at any opportunity, then you can make mistakes. You're not necessarily playing in your comfort zone. And I think this is one of the reasons why leader is so effective as a mid laner. Yeah,
I think it's like leader's one of those guys that will jump in and put you in a situation where you're not that comfortable playing into. Like, you don't expect in an even level matchup in terms of relative skill, I guess, challenger versus challenger, I suppose, for someone to just jump on you as soon as they get the first opportunity and just sort of batter you in a skirmish. A lot of them are just kind of used to waiting for the jungler to have an impact, not trying to go for any risky 1v1 plays that could throw the game. But leader doesn't do that. He just takes the opportunity to dive in at whenever possible and look for those little extra 1v1 plays that he can find. And that's kind of what makes leader a difficult mid laner to play into, because it's not that usual style. He's more aggressive than most mid laners. He takes more risks, but also reaps more rewards because of it.
And leader's ult has just come up now as well, whereas Lucchesi is still a little bit until his ultimate comes up. It's a very slim window. We'll see whether leader decides to take advantage of that. But I think, as soon as Cassiopeia, as a champion, loses her flash, she suddenly becomes a lot more vulnerable. So I think leader's definitely going to want to try and do that. I think Obsess is still knocking about,
Yeah, no, I don't. I can see Obsess moving, so I am going to assume that Obsess has not actually left the game.
Unless L9 Obsess is connected, he's right-clicked it down mid and alt F forward. But hey, I don't think we're going to be seeing that today.
Don't do that in your solo queue games, everybody. Foxdropper does not endorse that kind of behavior.
Of course not.
There you go. I've saved you your PR for you. I've done it for you. There you go.
Thank you. Check your
right. It's going to be the top lane going to the in terms of pressure from Clowney. They've gone for the Rift Herald right now, and they are going to get that for free, I think, unless Obsess can get over there in time. Might be able to do so.
Yeah, Tolkien knows this is going down, but he's just kind of walking back into his lane. So this says that Mouse aren't too interested in this first Herald here. They're going to let that one go down to the Wizards. So good pick up for those guys as they try and... they're already almost like 1,000 gold down and nothing really has happened. And having Rift Herald and getting some plates there is a good way to get a little bit extra change in your pockets.
Yeah, I think it's the bot lane CS difference that you can see right now. Tolkien rather, has been under pressure in the top side of the map. Clowney just looking for those opportunities. But Maokai's so hard to punish, I feel. Like, he's just a rock. He's not Malphite, but he's like a rock. It's very difficult to take any kind of major advantages versus him, and Tolkien's just been playing that lane the way he needs to, not giving any kind of edge to the Renekton.
Yeah, Maokai in his kit is just very hard to punish because he's got so much regen in his passive. Like, he's always healing up. He's like sapping the magic out of and getting that extra life. But also on top of that, with just the style of champion that Maokai is, there's also no real incentive for you to have to try and do anything early game, because you're just a tank. You know, you got a tank, you're a CC, your role in the game is absolutely not hinging on how you play the lane phase. So with those two things combined, yeah, you get a very kind of slow play style in the top side if you are playing Maokai, and he has got a little bit of a CS disadvantage here against Renekton, but it's kind of to be expected and definitely nothing to be concerned about for MOUZ.
Absolutely not. But Energy Pop Wizards, they haven't really... The game hasn't blown open for MOUZ right now. The game is still moderately even despite the small gold lead that MOUZ has accrued. So it's not like we're seeing Kick Neosurf, where they just absolutely dominated Singularity from the get-go. This is actually still very open for Energy Pop Wizards. They have not given up too much. No first blood has gone down. Okay, they're not contesting the dragon, but they traded for the Rift Herald. They took that global objective off the map. And yes, okay, the second dragon is going down here, but honestly, Energy Pop Wizards right now holding their own the best they can.
Yeah, this is a smart response as well for Wizards here. They know that Dragon's going to be going down, so instead you go to the opposite side of the map to try and make something happen. And with that Herald, as you were saying, this could quite well actually just be the first tower here. Tolkien's going to run away from this one. I'll try.
Yeah, he's going to try. The ultimate comes out. He will get locked up. The flash still available, trying to heal as much he can. The flash come through with the cheeky little sapling to slow them down. That was nice from Tolkien. He gets out, but does, I think, inevitably lose that top lane turret.
Yeah, that was a good response from Wizard right there. That's kind of best case scenario. You can see the gold swing now. They're actually pretty, you know, they've now got the lead. The gold lead isn't a huge thing, but you know, it's like this is good because when you're playing against such like a powerhouse team, you don't want to fall behind early. We saw the dangers of falling behind early in the last game, and being able to just get a little bit of an advantage here really is really good for Wizards, and we'll see as Leader's going in again.
Leader does go in, and again, Lucchesi nullifies that situation with his ultimate. Obsess was there to try and follow up. It just seems like it's ult for ult right now in the mid lane, and Lucchesi very happy to just make those trades over and over. He's still kept his CS very, very respectable, and he's just dealing with Leader, nullifying Leader as much as he can so far.
With the fact that they are able to pick up the dragons at least means that, so for right now, Wizards like okay with how things are going and like the trades that are happening, but you know, once you start reaching towards that soul, it gets a little bit more scary, and a mountain soul is what we're going to be seeing here. When you've got a Maokai, a Trundle, and a Thresh, that's actually fairly significant, honestly. So Wizards will want to gain control at some point, even if they're okay with playing it chill for now or letting dragons go for now. I think the soul can actually be pretty impactful for this game, and it's something that you got to keep your eye on as well.
Yeah, and you can see Promiscu with that little ward spotted out Spooky as he's heading down towards the bot lane. Again, the skirmish action, the kill action, has been pretty quiet in this game so far. Nothing major has happened. Leader, again, I guess, looking for any opportunity with that ultimate to find a dive onto Lucchesi. He has got that Ignite available, but Lucchesi just trying to do his best to keep that wave as close to his turret as possible, so he always has that ability to just dive back. Although I say that, Promiscu dives in the hook. The champion MSI winning hook goes on to VZZ. They get the kill there, and the pillar blocks an easy escape path for White-In, forcing the flush. That was a nice play from Promiscu.
Yeah, that was well played right there, and that's the power of Trundle against low mobility champions such as Varus. And if you can get in on them, you can use that pillar. The pillar is so hard to escape from. You have to use your flash, and even then sometimes it's not necessarily enough. As we saw in that instance, VZZ has gone down. That is the first kill of the game over to MOUZ. And although Promiscu did pick it up, I'm not sure whether we'll be seeing a Wits End Thresh this game, like we did in the LEC, although under slightly different circumstances, but that's still a good start for MOUZ.
Yeah, Leader sitting on a control ward right now, maybe looking to go onto Spooky as he dives in. That's a lot of damage, and now Leader doing his best. Looking for a kill opportunity here, and will find it! Yes, he will. The Ignite gets it, as Leader now trying to go toe-to-toe with Lucchesi, who's spamming out those Qs, looking for them to connect, and he forces the flash. Lucchesi goes to the 1v1 and finds it, and is now going to be backed up by White-In, and Lucchesi chasing down Obsess as well. This was a good play. Lucchesi's still going! A double kill for the mid laner from Energy Pot Wizards, punishing the over-aggression from Leader.
Lucchesi's feeling it now. When you get a few kills in Cassiopeia, that is painful. This boy really put in the OP in Cassiopeia. He's got his Archangels. He's going to be stacking that up as well. He's only going to get stronger, mind you. Like, this is a champion that scales exceptionally well into the game. And Leader starts his playoff thinking he's the one with the catch. He's just bought his Gunblade like a little while back. And as soon as you get that item, you are so strong on Akali. You can do stuff like this. But sadly for him, Cassio is also no slouch. And she's able to pick up this return kill here. And once she's got the first one, something that Cass is so good at doing is just running people down, chasing after you. She's got endless amount of move speed and just she's a machine gun mage, especially with that phase rush, and able to pick up 2 kills there. And she's very happy about this one. Good start for Lucchesi.
A couple of things that I really like from that is that the timing of the flash and Spooky. He stopped that devastating basic attack from Leader, forcing him to have to engage further, and then Spooky's positioning and timing of the cocoon were just really good, and all Lucchesi needed to do was just hit some Qs and Es, and he was good. You know?
Yeah.
I think that Spooky played that pretty well, given the situation that he was in. Was a pretty poor face check to begin with.
Yeah, you've always got to respect the power of face checking someone like Akali, and this is going to be the second Herald of the game here. Both Heralds going down to the Wizards as well. So breaking that mid tower is going to be really nice. It opens up the map a little bit here. Enables you to just make like more roams and have access to different things on the map. But I think they've dropped the ball a little bit here by letting this dragon go down. The third dragon is not the Soul Dragon. That's the fourth one. But the third dragon... Oh my god!
Oh my god! What on earth? Obsessed. Come on, man. You had one job. Yeah, the lantern was there, the escape plan was ready, you just needed to smite it, and you smited it to like 5 HP. No. And then I think Spooky just walks in and goes, well, this is the freest dragon I've ever seen. He just lanterned over the wall. He just gets it for free.
That, you know what, that in the biz we call that an MB. We call that a cheeky MB. That's an unfortunate play. That is suboptimal. Some might even say as well. I think they were feeling the pressure a little bit there, honestly, with that being collapsed on. But yeah, you hate to see that. Honestly, I'm glad the observers aren't giving us a replay, because that would be a little bit painful to watch again.
We don't want to relive that moment.
No, we don't want to replay that.
I want to give credit to Energy Pot Wizards, because again, like you said, the pressure they put on in that situation was like, oh crap, we're Mouse, in the pit, we've got to make a decision, we've got to get this done, lantern out, the lantern's there, gonna click it, but I can't take away that should have been a free dragon for the most part. Like Obsess, they weren't even in range by the time that Obsess had the opportunity to smite that, I don't think. And then he lantern over the wall and gave away a 5 HP dragon.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something I don't like to do as a caster, and that's like just purely disagree with you. That was awful, but it worked out for Wizards. Just absolutely terrible. But Leader doing Leader things again. This time not so lucky Lucchesi to be able to get a trade kill back. In fact, he's not even going to get 1. He's going to get 0 and fall down himself. 2-1-0 now for the Wizards mid laner. Now's taking control of this game again.
Yeah, I think when you need someone to step up, you need Leader to step up. He's the kind of guy that in a side lane, you just put him down there. He's going to be very difficult to deal with 1v1 and set up a beautiful little kill there. He's going to put some pressure onto this tier 2 turret. So despite that little blunder around the dragon, I still feel like Mauser are in a great spot in this game. And Leader's kind of found his groove on this Akali now. He's starting to really put the pressure down into the 1v1 matchup with Lucchesi. And I really feel like Mauser now starting to play around him as well.
Man, it's just so tough playing versus him. They're going to try and punish him here. Let's see if Wizards can get something. Oh, you can't take the lantern.
You can't take the lantern. Lucchesi gets the kill. Beautiful miasma to stop that lantern take. And Promiscu attempted the save, but will not find it. Lucchesi bites back with yet another kill.
That was a nice play. Respect to Wizards for actually seeing that opportunity and taking it, not just letting it fly by. And now that was a TP from the top laner, right? He was sitting at a juicy goose egg 0-0-0, but he's got 200 bounty because he's just mega farming on Tolkien here. He's actually really strong, even though he's been quite quiet. But oh boy, oh god, I can't look.
You don't need to look. I can tell you that VZZ's dead. That was a hook across the wall. Promiscu's having a solid game with the hooks so far. I gotta say, he's been pretty solid with those hooks, and he finds another pick.
It's actually one of my favorite things about being involved in E-Masters and even just watching E-Masters is that you often see so many like skill champions just come out in draft, and you just get to see people who are really good mechanically just like go for it. You know, like you get to see like the leaders who will pick Akali no matter what the situation is and refuses to pick anything that isn't an Akali type champion. We've seen Thresh twice already today. It's like you get to see so many of the like exciting champs in League of Legends. There's not a lot of resident sleeper drafts that we get here, and it makes for some really cool games to cast and to watch.
Yeah, and again, Leader doing what he does best. He gains a small advantage. He's going to push down into the bot lane, even if he doesn't feel like he's got an advantage. Just becomes a menace in the side lane to deal with. And the thing about Leader is that you often don't want to look for the 1v1 with him. So he fought like in classic split push fashion. You know, he forces resources to deal with, and then the rest of the map can do what they want. And honestly, the rest of MOUZ have been perfectly fine so far. I'm not going to paint this as MOUZ are running away with it. They've only got a 600 gold lead at this point in time. So I've got to give credit to Energy Pot Wizards. We kind of expected this to be similar to the matchup that we just saw, but Energy Pot Wizards are genuinely putting on a pretty good show. Flash hook. I think it'll be Whitin taking that here. He might be able to escape with his own, and I think he will. Very close. Ultimate comes out. It will go down as Yeskla picks up the kill. And that was a good little pick off there.
It didn't. It took a little while, but not quite 200 years, but a little while, and Aphelios does pick up that kill in the end. And this might be the Baron here for MOUZ, or at least they're going to pressure it. So something that Leader was able to do with that bot lane split push that you were talking about is, you know, he goes down there, he draws attention, but because he's already done his thing, he recalls and then runs back to the action, which means that they have tempo, they have the plus, and Wizards, they're not going to give this one up for free.
I mean, Lucchesi basically walked in 1v4. I want to tell you that was, you know, it was heroism at its finest, but it just didn't go very well for Lucchesi. Yeah. Immediately hooked by Promiscu. Still, there were teleports coming through. Yeah, exactly. There are teleports coming through. Spooky dashes over the wall. Leader doing what he can. Now Spooky in the pit, into the repel. They're going to take him out before the Baron goes low enough, and now MOUZ starting to put the pressure on. They'll get the Baron. It was a good attempt by Spooky, but MOUZ secure.
Yeah, there's not really too much you can do in that situation there. I think, you know, Wizards, they don't want to give Baron up because it's powerful. Obviously, you don't want to lose Baron. It's a big thing. It's a big deal. But you've really got to be coordinated in an attempt to take it back. And I think, honestly, Wizards didn't have to go in so quick on that one. But they are going to look to pick up the Dragon here as well, which is something that, again, can serve as a delaying tool. Oh, gosh. You know what? This could be...
Oh, so close. They do get it though. Clowney picks it up. They're going to sacrifice VZZ to the Dragon Gods for only the second dragon in the game for Wizards.
I don't know what the next dragon play is going to hold for us, but I'm nervous already. I'm starting to sweat just thinking about it because we've seen some intense stuff happen in that dragon pit. Fortunately for Wizards though, they do pick up that one. That's 2 dragons in a row for them, and more importantly, it now extends their ability to, well, extend this game, because if Dragon Soul is a win condition for MOUZ, he needs to be careful though. Yes, it's caught.
Yeskla, he's just dead if the flash is there for Lucchesi. Lucchesi might not even need it. He'll get the shutdown and immediately Obsess and Tolkien coming in. Promiscu is getting locked up by Whitin. This might be an opportunity for Wizards to look for the engage right now, as Tolkien trying to zone away. Clowney coming through, has that Blade of the Ruined King, going to dive straight on to Promiscu and pick up the kill. Wizards will find a cheeky little double pick, but in the meantime, Leader trades it for a turret.
I think that's just a little bit disrespect right there from MOUZ, thinking they're safe, but Leader split pushing bot without teleports. You don't have the numbers there, and Wizards recognize that and they're able to punish. They've sent Renekton back to deal with the Leader split push, but you get a few kills and you're able to take mid lane as well. Like that's a pretty good W for Wiz there.
Obsess is backing in this brush and he will get immediately locked up by VZZ, forcing the flash. Obsess was holding the wave to prevent that push from going any further. And he's still going to keep trying to back in front of the Wizards team, but it is Trundle. He gets insane move speed and he will slowly work his way around. No Clowney though. Obsess, where you going, mate? I don't think there's anywhere for you to hide right now. Maybe looking for the execute here, but he's so tanky.
Yeah, I mean, look at the map and see what MOUZ is able to do while Obsess is doing this. This would not be the first time that I'm sure. Yeah, I've already made one element joke this game. I'm not going to make another. But if you can look at the top side, you can see Leader is like getting a good split push in this top side, and is probably going to take this tower too, because all of the Energy Pot Wizards try to collapse onto Obsess to take him down. They don't even get that, and now they concede so much tempo and so much map pressure that Mouse are actually able to get something out of it. So to be honest, Obsess being in that situation was actually really good for Mouse. Like, that was actually a good play, and it's going to result in some good things for them.
Yeah, they stopped the push in the mid lane by holding the wave and has allowed Mouse to capitalize with yet more neutral objectives in their favor. Leader doesn't even want to join the team. He's happy to continuously look for the 1v1 in the side lane, and no one from Wizards want to join him. Wizards may be trying to look for the siege and the 5 versus 4 force here. But there's so much wave clear available. Tolkien's actually going to pop the ultimate just to ward them away. A lot of people getting caught up right now. There comes the Moonlight Vigil. Lots of damage coming out from Jeskla. And the rest of Mouse are going to start to chase Wizards down.
Yeah, they're going to chase, because look what Leader's doing again. Like, he has no TP, he has no intention of joining this fight, and Mouse don't want to make this fight happen. But they just want to delay the recalls as long as they can, because Leader took the tier 1 top lane tower, he's now taken the tier 2 top lane tower. And it's like, at this point, it's just... I feel like NG Pot are trying their best here to really, like, punish Mouse for this split push, but Mouse are being really smart about it, and they know, okay, Leader's not here, Leader's doing his thing, let's chill out a little bit. And honestly, the Wizards right here is kind of a little bit of a step behind, and they're falling out of this game a bit.
I think one of the beautiful things about Aphelios is that he kind of has wave clear built in, really good wave clear, especially when you've got the Runans finished as well. So even if they do get forced... Yeah,
sorry,
that's insane.
That was like 3,000 gold. It was a lot of gold right there. Like, the whole gold difference is pretty much sitting in Jeskla's pocket here. God, that is frightening.
And he's sitting on a significant item spike with the Runans and the Infinity Edge finished up. He's working his way towards another Zeal item, maybe Phantom Dancer, keeping him extra safe. There's lots of options on the table. He also has a QSS to make sure he doesn't get locked up by the Varus, not get too hard stunned by the Renekton. He's got the Cassiopeia to escape from. He's pretty safe right now, Jeskla. He's in a really good spot and is dealing so much damage too. Mouse are in a commanding position, and again, no one wants to contest Leader in a side lane, and Leader is just going to sit there and farm and push waves and let the rest of his team do what they want on the map.
Yeah, and the dragon spawning in 20 seconds as well, so Leader getting this mini wave push in here is going to make the waves be in a nicer spot, a sweeter spot for Mouse if they decide to go make a dragon play. But Wizards are going to engage this, and Leader is walking up.
Yeah, they're going to get the immediate kill here, but it's a lot of CC being thrown down, and Tolkien and Obsess are so tanky. Jeskla will immediately pop that QSS, and here comes Leader. The cleanup crew is ready. Spooky trying to ward him away. It is a 2-kill advantage, but lots of low HP bars as Leader jumps in, goes for a triple kill. I think he knows when his time is done, though, and he will back out with the Blast Cone. But the rest of Mao's now looking to back him up. He lands the Shuriken. He jumps back in for a triple. Can he get much more from this situation as Lucchesi forces them away with the Miasma? That, my friends, is prime Leader.
That is absolutely prime Leader right there. If you're going to look for one play that just summarizes him up, split push in the bot side and then walk over to a team fight and make it happen. You know what's funny about that play is that he walked over to the Blast Cone, and it's like, oh, this is nice. Leader's actually showing when he knows to, like, be a little bit safe and to back away. I don't think he was doing it for that intent. I think it's because he thought Elise was going to drop down on the Blast Cone and he wanted to be there to pick her off. But it just happened to put him in a good defensive position as well.
This is scary because Aphelios has got the Crescendum Severum combo, which just means you can take Baron so quickly. Yeah. I just don't think Wizards are going to be ever able to contest it. They're going to lose this Baron. They're going to go for an attempted dragon take. Lucchesi already there trying to do it by himself.
Does it very fast. Machine Gun Cassiopeia there is just going to burn that dragon down. That is 3 dragons actually for the Wizards here, and that puts them on Soul Point instead.
But it is the Baron and the mid lane push coming out for Maus as Promiscu just threatens with a little speed boost there coming out from the Shurelias. They're going to go for the mid lane inhibitor turret, and Wizards have only just regrouped. They do get the pull onto Tolkien, but it's not exactly the ideal target. VZZ in the middle of things is unfortunately able to get too many basic attacks off. The hook comes in. They'll get the first kill onto Renekton as Leader jumps in further here. They're going to get the inhibitor as well. But again, look at Jeskla, just untouched on the backline. No one able to deal with him. And now Lucchesi stuck in the middle of the fight. They can't quite convert, but it is very close. Wait, I say that. Jeskla just gets another kill at the end here. Are they just going to go for the end?
They might just keep going, honestly. They've got a little bit of time before people come out of spawn with their regen health bars. They'll be satisfied with just that one Nexus tower. Or maybe not.
Maybe not, because Lucchesi gets immediately picked by Promiscu. Promiscu then jumps in to the stopwatch as Jeskla bounces away. This might just be a 2 versus 3. Oh my god, the MSI champion landing those champion hooks. And they will get a 2 versus 3 triple kill to end the game for MOUZ and take a 1-0 lead in their group. Promiscu, you absolute god.
Absolute legend right there as well. Like, honestly, that is the second Thresh game we've seen today that has been really, really quite dominant, honestly. And for me, so MOUZ Esports are the second seed from the Premier League. But I look at this lineup and I look at the way they play that game. And I'm like, I mean, this is probably the strongest number 2 seed we've seen in a very long time. We've already seen Schalke play today, but they're just, if you give them the space, if you give MOUZ Esports the space to do what they want to do and let them play their own game, that is so hard to counter, to go up against. Like, it's ridiculously difficult, and you saw it that game.
You need someone to be confident enough to take leader on in the side lane, and then if you don't, you need to be confident enough to just find the 5 versus 4 engages and win them, which is difficult. MOUZ Sports do force a very particular style. Now, we're going to go to a quick break. When we're back, we will dive into that matchup and also set you up for the last 3 games of the day. I will see you soon.
Vous comprenez maintenant pourquoi j'ai créé la Magic? En un clip, vous devenez Magic.
La monture avec ces 2 clips pour 149 €?
C'est Magic.
Dispositif médical.
This is my creed. The boots that make me faster. The items that make me stronger. The potions that I drink. I get the best to be more powerful, so my champion rises to the top. But all this leveling up means nothing if I don't level up myself. It's the healthy potions I drink in real life that make me stronger. Because you can only rule the game when you realize you are your most important champion. To play like a pro, eat like a pro.
Welcome back to the European Masters. We have just concluded our first 3 games of the day, and Mouse Sports did find the victory over NG Pop Wizards. It didn't look too easy until the floodgates opened very quickly towards that Baron fight. This was, I'm not going to mention the Lucchesi play here. That was a bit suspect. But Mouse, they never really felt like they were out of control this game, and eventually they just turned up the heat.
Yeah, I think this right here is kind of the defining moment where it was very obvious that Mouse were taking this game and that they were winning. But until this point, as you say, like Mouse looked like they were in the driving seat. Specifically, we saw Leader executing a lot of split pushes, which gave him the advantage, got him a few kills as well, and definitely helped his team secure the tempo that was important for him to get the rotations in to make other plays around the map. And this was the last-ditch effort really for the Wizards, trying to make this team fight happen. And they see, Leader's bot side, maybe we can do something. He's split pushing again, there's no TP, let's see what we can do. But Leader, he's just like, nah. Don't think so, boys and girls. I'm going to take this one. And this is where you said that was a defensive blast cone. I reckon that's an offensive blast cone, I generally think he thought Spooky was going to jump to it. And he's like, no, I want to kill you. But just a masterclass, really. Leader doing Leader things. A classic Mouse Esports game.
Yeah, and right at the end, it was just some beautiful Promiscue plays as well with this hook.
Oh, yeah.
Combining with Jeskler, it was insane, the work that those two put in right at the end here. But Wizards just couldn't keep up. Eventually, the mechanical gods of Promiscue, just hooking after hooking after hooking on the right targets as well. It was very, very, very nice stuff from the second seed from the Dark region. The second seed from the Dark region. And obviously, we've already seen Schalke in action, and they fell to Movistar Riders. Mouse are really bringing that Dark region pride back up here.
Yeah, well, Dark region won the whole thing last time we were in EU Masters, right? 2019 summer, big Berlin International Gaming, they won. And so, if I think this would be the first time if a Dark region win. I think it's the first time we've had repeat winners, back-to-back winners of the same region. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I could totally be talking rubbish here, but either way,
depends if you count Origin as Spain. But yeah.
Okay, yeah, because Origin and Mad Lions. Okay, so potentially, maybe on the technicalities, might be the first time, but it might not that a Dark region team or any region teams could win back-to-back. So, I think the German league is looking really strong right now. As you say, Schalke already lost today, so they're the first seed. But if your second seed's as strong as Mao's, then you've got a lot of hope in this tourney.
Yeah, I think Mao's definitely stepping up to the European Masters plate. Now, Foxy, this is where we have to hand over the baton. We are done for the evening. We've done our first 3 games. I hope you've enjoyed it. Myself and Foxy have loved calling the action here on these first 3. But after the break, Mad Magical and Yamato Cannon will be taking you through Isuba versus Fnatic Rising. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you then.